Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to jump into Unearthed Arcana. We're going to look at a 7th level Druid spell, Sunray. This was a new spell 40 years ago when Unearthed Arcana was published. I like this spell a bunch. So Sunray, it's the evocation alteration spell, level 7. So you have to be 14th level to cast it. Duration, range is 10 feet per level. Duration's 1 round. Area of effect, 10-foot diameter sphere plus special. Verbal, somatic, material components needed. Casting time only 3 segments. And saving throw is special. When a Sunray spell is cast, the Druid evokes a burning beam of light, which is similar to a ray of actual sunlight in all important aspects. It inflicts blindness for 1 to 3 rounds upon all creatures within its area of effect, unless a saving throw versus spell is made. Creatures using ultravision at the time may be blinded for 2 to 8 rounds, while those whom sunlight is harmful or unnatural will suffer permanent blindness unless a save is made, in which case the blindness lasts for 2 to 12 rounds. Those within the area of effect, as well as creatures within 20 feet of its perimeter, will have no infravisual capabilities for 2 to 5 rounds. So it's good to mess up those dark-dwelling creatures that are using ultravision, infravision to stalk your party. Undead, including vampires, caught within its main area of effect must save versus spell, taking 8 to 48 points of damage, or half damage if the save is made. So it's 8 dice 6. Those within the secondary effect of the spell, up to 20 feet from the perimeter, take 3 to 18 points of damage, or no damage if a save is made. The ultraviolet light generated by the spell will inflict damage on fungoid creatures and subterranean fungi, just as if they were undead, but no saving throw is possible. The material components are an aster seed and a piece of aventurine feldspar, some sunstone. So, kind of a lot here, and it is a high-level spell. You have to be a 14th level druid to be able to cast this spell, and we all know 14th level can be very tough to attain for druids. In all the years I've played, I've only had one player make it legit to 14th level druid on his own. He hasn't played at the table in many, many years. And then I had a couple where they, for whatever reason, they were dropping into an existing campaign. They prefabbed a druid up to about 12th level and eventually made it to 14th. So druids are not used that much at my table. I don't know why. They're really good. They get a bunch of hit points. They're good fighters. They get some really good spells, and they get this one. A couple things about this spell. It's a 10-foot diameter sphere in the area of effect, but it's cast at a range. So you cast the range, and then the sphere bursts up. And that's the primary area. If you're within that 10-foot diameter sphere, then you are affected fully by the spell itself. So 8 to 48 points of damage for undead, including vampires, caught in the main area of effect. And if you're on the secondary, so you're right next to it, then you take up to 3 to 18 points or no damage at all. So if there's a big crowd of ghouls coming your way or something like that, this is a good way to clean them up. And ghouls and ghasts and such can still be a challenge even at higher levels because they get so many attacks. And then each successful attack, most creatures have to make a saving throw. Elves don't, but otherwise you got to make a saving throw versus paralysis. You can get into trouble fast with those. It's interesting because it says undead, including vampires. So this is not just undead that are affected by sunlight, like a vampire and some other types. This is any undead that's hit by that spell. And I have actually let that ruling stand. I realize that it may not have been the intent in this book and that they rushed Unearthed Arcana to press, but frankly, it's such a rare spell and such a rare player character to be able to cast the spell that I didn't see a lot of need to limit that particular ability. So it's just how I viewed it. Let me know what you've done at your table, if you think that's a good ruling or not. I do. So all undead are affected by the beam of light, as if there were undead that are affected by light. So this can be a lot of fun too. You've got that lich there, and he might be standing in a meadow. And you go ahead and you blast him, and he actually takes damage from the light that hits him. And I figure it's more that you're invoking positive material energy directly into a negative material creature, which is why I allow the undead to suffer the damage regardless of where they are. Because all undead draw on negative material energy in order to maintain themselves. I just think that's a fair ruling. So that's it. It's 10 feet per level. It's pretty formidable, 140 feet away. It lasts a full round. So that's the other question, is how long are they within the sphere? It's a full round, and then they are blinded, which can be tremendously powerful. Blindness for 1 to 3 rounds on all creatures unless the saving throw is made. And creatures using Ultravision are 2 to 8 unless they save. So it's a good spell. It's a little high level for my taste. I think this spell should have been more like a 5th level spell. But I have left it as it is. It is 7th level Druid at my table. I have had a couple of Druids able to cast it. I've also given this out in an item or two. I had a ring that cast Sunray once that I gave out to a group years and years ago. And I actually gave that out at a fairly low level just so they had something that they could effectively fight undead with. That ended up being really good, and it really didn't skew the game all that much. Lower levels, they let them kill a lot of undead quickly, but I also put charges on the ring, so that also limited how much they could use it. And then by the time they hit medium levels and stuff, it got set aside a little bit because the fighters could do a lot of damage, the MU had spells and such. But still, it was a good item to start out the players with, and I gave it to about a 4th level character. I think I gave it to a fighter. And 4th level, it seems a little OP for 4th level, but it really is not in play because there are limits on this. The big effect is the blinding, and as I said, I put it on charges, and I think I made the charges only like 25. So 25 charges every time you use it, not rechargeable. The ring itself becomes non-magical once all the charges are used up, and the item as I gave it out could not be recharged. So it was just a nice kind of self-limiting thing that the fighter of the group used a lot early, but I was ready for it as the DM, but later on started getting spare with it because he wanted to hang on to those charges, because I gave it out, it has a max of 25 charges, but I threw a die 8 and took away that many charges. I threw a 6, so we only had 19 charges on the thing. So at first he was pretty free with it. Once he got down to about 10 charges, 12 charges, he started getting a little more cautious because he realized he was about to lose an item that would be pretty good no matter what level he went to. So there you have it. That's a look at Sunray, a 7th level Druid spell that I adapted to a ring in my old campaign. Let me know what you've done with this. Have you ever used this spell? Have you seen this spell used? I realize a lot of campaigns don't get that high, but I have played in many, many, many groups at varying levels of power and things like that, and it's just one of those that has come up at my table, and I always liked. So that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends. Let's keep growing the channel. Also, please take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. And that's all I've got today on page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.